Eeny, meeny, miny, Marlin. 444 Marlin specifically. That's a cool one. Let's start out with this one for our straight wall hunting cartridge series. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. 444 Marlin, or 444, however you want to say it. Very cool cartridge. We're going to test it out today in the CVA Scout V2. This is a single shot break action rifle. I would say it's pretty much on the budget line. It has a synthetic stock. You're able to mount whatever you want as far as an optic. It doesn't come with any optics. And then it has a fluted barrel and some sort of a compensator slash brake on the end of it. You can pick these up in a lot of different places, usually at a very reasonable price. It's a good way to experiment with different cartridges. And being a single shot break action that locks up pretty well and is hammer fired, it's actually a very stable, accurate platform to shoot from. So as a hunting rifle, especially for something like whitetail deer where you're only pretty much going to need one shot, it's a great option. On top of this rifle, we have a SIG Buckmaster scope that's a 3 to 12 power by 44 millimeter. There's a look at the BDC drop reticle. I usually don't use BDC for anything. That one is set for, I believe, 223, but we'll eventually see if it matches up with anything to do with 444 and the other cartridges we're going to be testing. The ammo we're going to be using today is Hornady Superformance. This is just something I randomly picked up off the shelf. This is a 265 grain flat point. This 265 grain exposed lead flat point projectile is moving at an advertised muzzle velocity of 2,400 feet per second. So this is just the first of many videos that are going to involve the 444 Marlin in this setup. We're basically going to be testing rifles across the board when it comes to the straight wall hunting cartridges. You might have seen our introduction video that explained it. If you didn't, check it out. But we're going to try to keep everything pretty consistent as far as we can with barrel lengths that are appropriate for caliber or cartridge. We're going to keep the same optics on the rifles, and all but one right now is actually a single shot break action. For today's video, I want to run this ammunition through a chronograph to confirm velocity. I want to get a feel for it to see what the recoil is like, especially out of something like a single shot that doesn't offer a whole lot of recoil absorption. These rifles do have a pretty decent butt pad on them, and they do have that compensator on the front, so that'll help. Now we have these things zeroed right now at 20 yards on steel. We're going to move that out to 100 yards. We're just going to go straight out to 100. We're going to see how they are zeroed at that distance. We might have to make an adjustment or two, but we're basically going to go for grouping right off the bat with this ammunition specifically today. So we just want to see how this combination right now gets along. We're going to see how this scope holds up with this rifle, how it works out, see if we like it. Like I said, just check the average grouping and everything of a rifle like this. And then in future videos, we'll be moving on to plenty of other ammunitions, including very cool things from Underwood, Double Tap, other companies like that, and hand loads. Gel block testing will definitely be included, and I want to do it up close at about 20 yards and all the way downrange at 100 yards to check our retained velocity and retained impact, see what the wound channel looks like out at a possible 100-yard hunting distance. So like I said, this is just a start. This is the 444 Marlin. Testing's been explained. I'm going to quit talking. Let's start shooting. All right, we're down at 100 yards, and I have a big witness board set up in case anything's super wild, but it shouldn't be. I know there's a bunch of targets up here, but I'm going to be focused on the bottom ones, and for right now, I'm going to be focused on this left bottom one. We have them set up for 444, for 450 Bushmaster, and for 4570 down there, and I just put the other ones to see if I saw those better, but I choose these today. All right, we are 20 feet off that chronograph, 100 yards exactly with the rangefinder off of that left circle bottom target. It's going to take me a minute to get set up real nice, but I'm going to try to give you guys 3 well-placed shots. I know some people aren't going to like a 3-shot group, but this ammo is like $55 a box, and yeah, we got other testing to do. And I see a pretty nice hole down there. You guys should see the same thing. And the chronograph has survived, and it says 2360. Now, these specific CVA rifles, they have an extractor, not an ejector. So you do have to pull out the old round and put in the new. So let's take another shot. That one's pretty close. I wouldn't say that they're touching by far. You guys see it? And I'll go ahead and talk about the recoil and the trigger. The recoil is actually pretty substantial from this 444 Marlin cartridge. Now, I have hand loaded for it before, and I will say that this one is a little bit stouter than some of my hand loads I've made for sure. It's enough to make you jump off of your scope where you need to recover and go ahead and get your sight back again. It's not one of those easy ones where you're going to really see your impact, at least not with this setup specifically. But you know that's delivering some awesomeness downrange. Let's check out the velocity. 2371. So yeah, that definitely translates to a lot of foot-pounds, a lot of energy on deer. And in these 100-yard and in type of shoots, oh my gosh, that really does a lot to a whitetail. I'm going to pull the trigger one more time before I give you a total explanation, but I will tell you it's very easy. It's very light at the moment. I do like it. There's no creep to it. There's nothing to get over. You just start applying pressure and it happens. All right, shot number 3. I'm really going to try to pay attention to my trigger. And exactly like I just said, you just start applying pressure. There's really no movement and it just breaks. All right, that one I can see was a little bit higher into the right, like you see. 2356. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this group at 2.42 inches. Keep in mind that that is that specific ammunition through that specific rifle with that specific optic with me as a specific shooter. Camera guy and I are going to measure this out and make some adjustments, and we'll have our final shot. All right, we've made the proper scope adjustments, we believe. It'll be funny to see if we went the complete opposite way, but I think we know what we're doing today. If not, we'll just blame camera guy. He's a smarter one, so we rely on him. And I can't see where we're at right now, but we're about to figure it out. We have 2346. So through the scope, I thought I missed because I could not see the hit in the black, but that's pretty good. I will take that. That's within our deviation here. I have witness marks on the scope. Nothing is moving. That's just the grouping that I got with that ammo, but I will take that as far as point of aim, point of impact at 100 yards for a deer rifle that I'm definitely going to be using more like 20 to 50 yards. That accuracy is totally awesome for me. And since you just heard me mention that I do take a lot of my deer very close within the 20 to 50 yard range, sometimes out to the 100, maybe 130 yard range at the most, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try this ammunition up close now that we have a 100 yard zero. I'm going to see what the point of impact change is on that piece of steel right there. I'm going to aim dead center, no Kentucky windage or anything. I'm just going to aim dead center on that plate. Therefore, I'll figure out if it corresponds to anything on my scope that I can relate to. Probably not, but we're also going to hear the impact on steel, so that should give you some appreciation for the power of the awesome straight wall cartridges, especially 444 Marlin, which is no joke. And that is absolutely awesome. I can't ask for anything more than that. That thing impacted dead center. So I have a perfect zero. The speed of that cartridge is awesome. I have a perfect zero from 20 yards out to 100 yards. I will take that. This thing is going to be awesome on deer. I don't have to worry about holdovers, hold unders, anything like that. This thing is an absolute thumper from here to there. I think this is going to be an awesome choice for deer hunting Ohio 2024. All right, so that is a perfect impact. I mean, it got right in the center of that red. That scope's really nice on that gun. You can see very clearly. So for anybody that's wondering about that SIG scope, it is very nice to see through. And obviously you see I have a low mount ring on there, so it's like 0.85 of an inch. It's not a full inch. It's not even in the 0.9s. So that's the perfect one for the Scout, in my opinion. And like I said, you can't ask for more than that kind of accuracy, point of aim, point of impact at 20 yards and all the way out at 100 yards. And if you'll notice on this plate, that's a straight wall cartridge. So people think of bottleneck cartridges as being really speedy, really hyper and damaging, but this thing definitely left a divot about the size of the tip of my finger, my ugly trigger finger. But yeah, you can definitely feel a divot in there. Camera guy will zoom in. That thing tried to take a bite out of that piece of steel. That is a no joke cartridge. So overall, I'm pretty happy. That's a nice cartridge that I've always liked. I have a BFR in that cartridge. You guys might have seen that on the channel. If not, definitely check it out. It's pretty cool. We'll be bringing that thing out too a lot this season. But for now, this CVA Scout with this Buckmaster optic with this ammunition is not too bad. Of course, we'll be exploring other ammunitions, like I said, but for now, I mean, I can take this out in my opinion, and we're good to go for gun season right now. I'll check to make sure nothing is moved. I don't think I've already checked the witness marks for the most part. I think everything would be good to go to just put this thing in the corner and wait. Next up will be 450 Bushmaster and 450 or 4570 Government, and they're in the exact same configuration. Different ammo, but totally same configuration. So definitely check out those videos. Those will be right after this one. We're going to do the exact same protocol, so it should be pretty cool. This thing is accurate from 20 yards all the way out to 100 with no change in zero, basically, maybe just a fraction of an inch, but hits like a hammer no matter what. Not too bad on recoil. I wouldn't say it's for beginners. I think we'll find that more in the 350 Legend or maybe even 450 Bushmaster land. Definitely 400 Legend does pretty good with recoil. This one might be a little bit stout for the first-time shooter or the youngster. But most experienced hunters will have absolutely no problem with this platform or this cartridge, in my opinion. The whitetail, they might have a little bit of a different opinion. And we are definitely going to try to set one down with this cartridge this year. Hope you enjoy these type of videos. Thank you for watching this one. Hope to see you at the rest of the series. And until then, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.